So let us have example number 3. Determine the deflection at the free end. So here, since we are asked to solve for the deflection at the free end, so we're going to place the P force here. And I'm assuming that the deflection would be downward because this is a cantilever beam. So it's not an assumption, by the way. I'm sorry. But it's the type of elastic curve or deflection that I already anticipated. Because the beam is a cantilever beam, then all the deflection from the suspension or from the suspended or from an overhang of this span is negative and it's downward. So from there, we can now conclude that this would be A, this would be B, and this would be the C. And for this one, this is 30 times 3 times 1/2. This is 45. And then here, you will have RA, and you will have MA. Excuse me. So let's try to solve for the reaction. Summation of forces vertical equal to 0. You will have RA equal to 45 and P. While the summation at point A equal to 0 will give you MA equal to 45 times 1/3 of 3 is 1, then plus 2, that's 3. Then plus P times 5. So MA, it's 135 plus 5P. Okay, with that, I just wanted to have a different situation. So I'll be cutting this portion and considering the left side. I just wanted to. So anyway, let's proceed with segment AB. For segment AB, all we have here is the beam or the section, and then at the point of cutting there is moment, and the length of the cutting is X. This is point A. It will have MA and RA. So with this, we can now get the equation. Summation of moment at the point of cutting equal to 0. You will have M rather. M equal to RA times X and then minus MA. So we'll have RA to be 45 plus P times X minus 135 plus 5P. So with this, our equation would be 45X plus PX minus 135 plus 5P. And you will be setting all the terms without P to be 0 for the meantime. And then get the partial derivative of M with respect to M prime. You will now get X plus 5, right? So unsay tupad ni P here, it's X. Then unsay tupad ni P here, it's 5. So X and 5. Proceed. Let's get the product of the two terms. Oh, why am I using M prime, by the way? It shouldn't be M prime, but rather it's P because this is deflection. I'm sorry. So there. Okay. So with this, we now have 45X plus PX minus 135 plus 5P times X plus 5. And now set the values with P equal to 0. So the final product would be this one. It's now 45X minus 135 times X plus 5. Okay. And let us proceed with the segment BC. For segment BC, I will be cutting here And this is now the portion of cutting. So here, and by that I have a triangular loading So the reason why I did not consider the right side, because it's going to be complicated. It's going to be a trapezoid. So most of the time, as much as possible, whenever you try to cut a triangle, make sure, or the triangular loading, by the way, make sure to consider the side where it will give you a triangle in shape, just like this. I'm considering the right side. And with that, since I am now cutting this portion as a function of x, so therefore, this is no longer 30, but I'll just call that to be y. And by ratio and proportion, I can get the value of y, where y over x is equal to 30 over 3, where y is equal to 10x. And with that, I can have the resultant, which is 1/2 of y times x. And that is 1/2 of 10x times x, which is 5x squared. Okay, so in that case, do not also forget that at the point here, you have P, since this is point C, then you also have this moment. So let us now get the moment equation. So can I just transfer it here? So summation of moment at the point of cutting equal to 0, you will have m, and then that's equal to negative p x minus 5x squared times 1/3 of x. So m is equal to negative px minus 5 over 3x cubed. And to get the partial derivative of m with respect to p, so all we have to do is set the value where walay p to 0 for the meantime, and then it's going to be negative x now, since ang tupad ni p is a negative x. So from here, we can now get the product of the two, and that's equal to negative px minus 5 over 3 x cubed times negative x. And by that, the product now, the final product, since we will be setting the value of p to 0, so this term is now 0. And by that, we can cancel out the negative sign. And we will now have the 5 over 3 x cubed and x. So for the deflection at the free end, which is our assumption to be downward, it's going to be the integral of the product of the two terms dx from a to b. The limit is from 0 to the length, 2 meters. And then plus, let's copy this, paste it here. So it's from B to C, and instead of 0 to 2, the limit is from 0 to 3. And of course, do not forget that it is 1 over EI for both terms. Okay, so what we're going to do now is write now the deflection to be downward equal to the integral from 0 to 1 of segment AB. So segment AB, where is segment AB? Here. This is for segment AB. And this is dx. So this is 1 over EI. Then plus the same 1 over EI integral. No, this is not 0 to 1, but rather 0 to 2. And then here the limit is from 0 to 3. and you copy this one. For this is for BC. So there. And dx, that one. So in this case, we are now going to have the integral of the term 45x minus 135 times x plus 5, limits from 0 to 2. It's 1 over EI times negative 1050. And then plus, so let's have a different one. It's integral of 5 over 3 x cubed times x from 0 to 30. So this is 81. So can I just repeat this one term? Integral of 45x minus 135. So ba 135 oh, balik ko din ako. MA, since MA is, I'm sorry, for segment BC, AB rather. For segment AB, can I just repeat this since nasayop ko sa kaninga portion? So it shouldn't be in that manner. Okay, so let me repeat. M is equal to RA. So RA is 45 plus P. So it's 45 plus P times X. Then minus MA, it's 135 plus P. So it's 135 plus 5P. So kana. So hapit. It's 45x plus px, then minus 135 minus 5p. There. And then to get the partial derivative of m with respect to p, we're gonna set this to 0. Kaning walay mga p. And this is going to be x minus 5. So ang pair or ang tupad ni P is x. That's why it's x here. And then ang tupad ni P is negative 5. That's why it's minus 5. And then to get the product of the two, it's going to be 45 x plus px minus 135 minus 5p times x minus 5. So we are going to set this p to 0. So in this case, we'll have 45x minus 135 and x minus 5. So this is our final product. Okay, so instead of plus 5, it's negative 5. This one. So it's x minus 5. There. Kana. So from here, balikon lang nato, it's 45 minus 135 times x minus 5 from 0 to 2. So there. It shouldn't be negative. Okay, cantilever man. So dapat downward siya. So dapat positive ang atong answer kay positive man ang downward man atong assumption. So it's 750 then plus 81. So we got it already, the other one, 81. Ato lang balikon. Or na naman ta ato? Okay, na clear. So it's going to be the integral of 5 over 3, then x cubed times x, limit from 0 to 3. It's 81. Okay, so downward deflection is equal to 1 over EI times 750 plus 81. It's 831 kilonewtons cubic meter. This is our deflection at the free end. So this